Every dream dies the moment your focus fades. We chase everything, yet master nothing because our minds are never still. But imagine if you could control your attention, shape your habits, and rebuild your life one focused moment at a time. That's where transformation truly begins. Jack always felt like life was moving faster than he could keep up. Every morning, he woke up to a flood of notifications, a calendar packed with meetings, and a mind already racing with unfinished tasks. No matter how hard he tried, it seemed like he was always one step behind, forgetting important dates, missing deadlines, and feeling like he was letting everyone down, including himself. The world around him looked so organized and in control, while he struggled just to get through the day. But what if there was a way out of this chaos? What if the answer wasn't working harder, but something much simpler, something almost everyone overlooks? Jack was about to stumble upon a hidden secret, one that would change everything he thought he knew about success and peace of mind. The question is, are you ready to discover it too? Because what happened next turned his entire life upside down. Each day for Jack felt like a battle he was destined to lose. He'd sit at his desk, determined to tackle his to-do list, but within minutes, his phone would buzz, pulling his attention away. Emails piled up, messages demanded instant replies, and every distraction seemed more urgent than the last. He'd start one task, only to abandon it halfway for another, leaving a trail of unfinished work and mounting anxiety. The more he tried to multitask, the less he accomplished, and the more exhausted he became. Meanwhile, he watched colleagues and friends who seemed to glide through their days with purpose and clarity, ticking off goals and making steady progress. Jack couldn't help but compare his scattered, chaotic routine to their focused, intentional lives. He felt stuck, trapped in a cycle of busyness that led nowhere. The harder he pushed, the further behind he seemed to fall. Frustration built up and self-doubt crept in. Was he missing something everyone else knew? The gap between where he was and where he wanted to be grew wider each day, and Jack wondered if he'd ever find a way to bridge it. But the real turning point was still to come. One Friday afternoon, Jack received an email that made his heart sink. It was a polite but firm message from his manager, letting him know he'd missed a critical deadline for a project he'd promised weeks ago. The client was disappointed, and the team had to scramble to cover for his oversight. Jack stared at the screen, feeling a wave of embarrassment and regret. This wasn't the first time he'd let something slip through the cracks, but this time, the consequences were real. He replayed the past few weeks in his mind, how he'd started the project with good intentions, but let distractions and competing priorities pull him away. He realized he'd been so busy reacting to everything around him that he'd lost sight of what truly mattered. That night, Jack lay awake, haunted by the thought that he was sabotaging his own future. He knew something had to change, but he didn't know where to start. What happened next, though, would change everything. Because sometimes, it takes a moment of failure to open your eyes to a new way forward, a way that most people never even consider, but that holds the key to real transformation. Determined not to repeat his mistake, Jack dove headfirst into the world of productivity advice. He downloaded the latest apps, set up color-coded calendars, and watched endless videos promising quick fixes. For a while, he tried waking up at 5 a.m., making elaborate to-do lists, and even blocking social media. But no matter what he tried, the chaos always crept back in. The apps became just another set of notifications to ignore, and the routines felt forced and unsustainable. Each failed attempt chipped away at his confidence, leaving him more frustrated and hopeless than before. He wondered if he was simply destined to struggle, while others thrived. The more he searched for answers, the more overwhelmed he became by conflicting advice and impossible standards. It seemed like everyone else had found the secret to focus and success, everyone except him. Just as Jack was about to give up, something unexpected happened. A chance encounter, a simple conversation, or maybe just a moment of quiet reflection. Whatever it was, it planted a seed of hope. The breakthrough he desperately needed was closer than he realized, and it was about to reveal itself in the most surprising way. One evening, while venting his frustrations to an old friend, Jack heard something that stopped him in his tracks. His friend, someone he'd always admired for their calm and steady progress, shared a simple truth. It's not about doing more, it's about doing less, on purpose. Instead of chasing every new hack, his friend focused on just a few daily habits. Starting each morning with 5 minutes of quiet reflection, setting one clear intention for the day, and giving full attention to one task at a time. It sounded almost too simple, but his friend insisted, "Most people overlook this, but it's the key to real change." Jack realized he'd been searching for complicated solutions when the answer was right in front of him. He decided to try it for himself, committing to just one small habit, turning off notifications and spending the first hour of his day on his most important task. The shift was subtle at first, but something inside him began to change. For the first time in a long while, Jack felt a sense of control and clarity. What if this was the secret he'd been missing all along? The transformation was just beginning. As days turned into weeks, Jack's life began to shift in ways he hadn't imagined. Mornings no longer started with chaos, but with calm intention. By focusing on one task at a time, he finished projects faster and with greater satisfaction. The constant stress and self-doubt faded, replaced by a quiet confidence. Friends and colleagues noticed the change. Jack seemed more present, more reliable, and even happier. The endless cycle of unfinished work and anxiety was replaced by steady progress and a sense of accomplishment. Where he once felt scattered and overwhelmed, he now felt grounded and in control. The contrast was undeniable. From chaos to clarity, from frustration to fulfillment, Jack realized that small, consistent habits had unlocked a focused mind, and with it, a new way of living. But the most important lesson was still to be shared. Jack's story proves that real change doesn't come from chasing every new trend, but from building simple, focused habits that shape your days and your mind. If you've ever felt overwhelmed or stuck, ask yourself, what's one small habit you can start today to bring more focus and peace into your life? Don't wait for the perfect moment. Begin now. If this story inspired you, share it with someone who needs it, subscribe for more life-changing lessons, and let us know in the comments which habit you'll try first. Your transformation starts with a single step.